Picture pulling a massive harvest like this without ever having to map out a crop rotation schedule again. Developed by Mesoamerican farmers over 4,000 years ago, this biological engine lets you skip complicated seasonal crop rotations by forcing the crops to feed each other. You'll see how the Three Sisters Guild, corn, pole beans, and squash, wire together into a zero-waste engine that permanently replaces crop rotation. We start the clock at day 1. In a standard garden, you would spread your crops out and build expensive wire supports for your climbing plants. Here, we stack them vertically to maximize the harvest in a tiny space. The first thing into the dirt is corn. You always plant the corn first because it acts as the physical skeleton for the rest of the system. Instead of spending money on wood or metal trellises, the corn stalk grows into a natural ladder, a living wooden stake. There's a specific reason you'll never see this high-yield method used on massive commercial farms. We'll get to that. For now, the corn goes in alone. And then we wait. By day 15, the corn stalk has shot up and thickened. Timing is the crucial safety valve here. If you plant the next layer too early, the heavy vines will drag your baby corn straight into the dirt. But now, the stalk is strong enough to handle our second gear, pole beans. As the bean vines spiral up the green stalk, they get to work underground. The roots of these climbing beans partner with rhizobium bacteria. If you look closely, you'll see tiny underground apartments for microbes clinging to the bean roots. These bacteria are microscopic fertilizer factories living directly on the plant. They literally pull nitrogen gas out of thin air and inject it into the dirt as usable plant food. Nitrogen. They convert it into ammonia, which acts like a liquid protein shake for plants to grow deep green leaves. Modern farms dump thousands of pounds of chemical fertilizer to grow food. But this biological loop permanently replaces your need to buy synthetic nitrogen fertilizers, pulling what it needs directly from the sky.
Fast forward to day 30. The system is climbing vertically, the soil is getting pumped full of nitrogen, but the dirt itself is exposed to the baking sun. That is where we drop in squash.
Squash goes in last. It throws out a thick carpet of massive leaves that spread across the ground, acting as a giant green umbrella. This living mulch keeps the soil cool and dark, which chokes out weeds and traps moisture in the dirt. Because the sun never bakes the soil, your daily watering chore drops to near zero. It also brings its own physical security system. Many traditional squash varieties grow prickly hairs along their stems and leaves. These chew up the paws and noses of herbivore pests like deer and raccoons, creating a built-in biological fence without you spending a single dime on netting. Every single plant in this guild is a self-assembling machine. As the Old Farmer's Almanac puts it, corn provides a natural trellis for climbing beans. Beans enrich the soil with nitrogen, and squash spreads across the ground to suppress weeds and retain moisture. We hit day 60. The entire plot is an impenetrable jungle of tangled vines and heavy produce. And this is exactly why industrial agriculture completely abandoned it. Commercial agriculture relies on massive combine harvesters, giant factories on wheels. But a combine cannot untangle a thick climbing vine and a ground-creeping gourd, completely tangled up in the exact same square foot. Because heavy machinery can't harvest it, commercial farms swapped to monoculture, planting only one crop in a massive field, like putting all your retirement money into a single, highly risky stock. Modern monoculture might produce higher yields of corn per acre, but look at the total output side by side. This traditional Milpa produces a significantly higher total caloric and protein yield per acre. This is how you cultivate robust storage crops to last through harsh winter months, even if you only have a small backyard plot. Subscribe, please. But growing all these calories won't keep you alive through the winter if you don't know the chemical trick to unlock them. It is harvest time. We pull a massive combined harvest of ripe corn and climbing beans, harvest pile. Eaten together, corn and beans create a complete protein. They perfectly fill in each other's nutritional gaps. Corn provides methionine and cysteine, but it naturally lacks the essential amino acid lysine. The beans provide the lysine, the missing puzzle piece required to build human muscle. You can grow a true meat replacement directly in your dirt, completely bypassing the grocery store. But to survive on this diet, you need a chemical key. Indigenous people didn't just boil the corn. They soaked their dry corn in chalky lime water, an alkaline wash. This ancient chemical trick is called nixtamalization. Steeping the corn in this high pH liquid unlocks hidden vitamins, specifically niacin, vitamin B3, that are trapped inside the kernel. If you just eat plain dried corn, those vitamins pass right through your body. Without them, you get pellagra, a deadly disease that acts like a slow starvation, killing you even when your stomach is completely full. Growing the food is only half the battle. Knowing this chemical trick is what actually keeps you alive. Here is your post-harvest bonus. While these main three structural crops are the foundation, a true Mayan milpa wasn't just 3 plants. Once you master the basic loop, you can scale it. Traditional milpas incorporated up to 60 different plant species, throwing in wild tomatoes and native greens called calites, free bonus salads that sprout on their own among the crops. And the true historical Maya system didn't just stay anchored in one single place. After a few years of massive yields, they would actually let the milpa lie fallow and allow the jungle to completely swallow it for a decade or more to naturally restore soil fertility. Want to step entirely off the grid? Click the video on your screen to see the ancient zero-waste water system that pairs perfectly with this garden layout. These 3 distinct plants lock together to create a self-feeding milpa engine that permanently replaces modern crop rotation. Build the system, let it feed itself, and we'll see you out there.